Thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Welcome back, everyone, to episode 277 of the Massenomics podcast, the lifting podcast about nothing. Recorded live from western northeast South Dakota. My name is Tanner.
And my name is Tommy.
Now that you know us, we can get into episode 277.
We can get after it.
We got some follow-up from previous episodes. We're talking about all kinds of different new and exciting media coverage that the world of Massenomics has going on.
It's like a media conglomerate over here.
New platforms that we're hitting, completely
new audiences.
Yeah, new audiences that we'll be reaching. Things are really blowing up, aren't they?
They certainly are. But before we talk about that, we better hear from our first sponsor today.
All right.
The Massenomics podcast is brought to you by SPUD Inc. and the Bowtie Formal. Tanner, do you know about the Bowtie Formal?
Is it one of these where you go like...
No, not quite like that. The Bowtie by SPUD Inc. is the answer to maintaining superior posture in and out of the gym. By compressing the shoulders and lats, the Bowtie trains proper back positioning while lifting, negates slouching during the workday, and reduces pain in the chest and shoulders. The Made in USA Formal Bow Tie is designed specifically for heavy training. The Formal Bow Tie is built from sturdy material that provides greater compression and support, ensuring your form stays correct. It's also perfect for all formal events, such as weddings, red carpet walks, and more. There you go. I guess it is acceptable at formal events.
Okay.
It says right here. To find your size, do the following. You can check out the sizing directions online. It's all there. But you can learn more about the SPUD Inc. bow tie or formal bow tie at spud-inc-straps.com.
Also, Google Massenomics bow tie review.
Or just Google the bow tie. Yeah. I think we're one of the first ones that
if you Google the SPUD Inc. bow tie or the Donnie Thompson's
one of the first ever reviews we ever did on anything, actually.
Yeah.
I should get one of those. I'm at a computer a lot.
That's true.
Just to really kind of open me up a little.
I've still got mine at home. I pop it on every once in a while. I've got the red one. Is the red one the formal one?
That is the formal one.
Okay, so yeah, I have the formal bow tie.
If you're going to do it, you got to do it, right?
You got to do it upright. Do it up
formally. Speaking of reviews, we did a bit of a gym tour recently, Tanner. Not completely a review. We kind of reviewed our own gym, I guess.
We kind of did. We gave it rave. Massenomics Gym got rave reviews.
We surprised everyone with the release, though, I think.
We did.
It was... We had some, initially at the beginning of the year, we had some plans to really pump out a lot of YouTube videos, and, life is a thing, and
it happens.
We tend to overestimate our availability, and us overestimating it is hard to do because we're very conservative with how much time we actually think we have available.
That's true.
For some reason, we thought for YouTube we'd have a lot of time, and boy, were we wrong, because Massenomics only gets busier and busier as the days go by, and adding in a whole other thing was tough to do. But at the beginning of the year, what was it, February, I think?
Yeah, I think February is probably when we recorded that.
We filmed the gym tour video, and it was fun to do.
It was
a little different for us. We sit here and talk. We're talking in front of a camera right now. We're in a
we
microphone.
Do it every week for years.
Every week, sometimes with surprisingly little preparation. But I feel totally natural.
Yeah,
I feel good right here.
Right.
Like,
this is no big deal.
Literally feel like I'm just shooting the breeze, having a good time. If you said this podcast has to be 2 hours or Massenomics can't exist, say, try me. We'll go 4.
Yeah, right.
Like it's not an issue, but it is. All of a sudden, you're in front of a camera in a gym. It's moving around. You're trying to explain things.
You're walking around.
You're walking like, what do I do with my hands? Like it gets a little more awkward, doesn't it?
I mean, it's way more awkward than this. Like this,
and it still isn't like, oh, I can't watch myself. Like it's not that. It's just it's much less natural.
Yeah, it's way less natural than this. And I think our finished product came off as looking real nice. Like that video, I think was a very cool gym tour, and I don't think it came across as awkward or like that we were overly uncomfortable, but it is just way
it's probably 90% in our heads.
Yeah, it is.
We probably do like a little less.
It's just harder than this for us, but you made the comment earlier, if we had been doing that every week for the last 5 years, that wouldn't be very hard
we'd
either.
We'd be YouTube video experts.
Exactly.
But we did film that in February. We actually had it edited shortly after that. The edit was turned around pretty quick, but then we had some plans for some other stuff, and we kept delaying, and things were falling through and waiting. And then pretty soon we forgot that video even existed. Like we literally did. We forgot it existed.
Yeah, we went months without.
We were kind of talking one day, and the conversation was,
should we just put that out there?
Should we just do it? Like it's kind of now, like it's almost 5 months down the road. We're getting closer to a 2022 video at this point than a 2021. So it was like it either has to happen now or never. Yeah. And we popped it out on a Thursday.
Yeah. And good, lot of great comments.
Yeah.
And stuff
we
on
also
it.
weren't sure. Will this have 100 views?
Yeah.
Will it have 10 comments? Like, will there be anything on it? But as of the time of recording this, I think we're at a little over 900 ish.
Yep.
And or right around 900, and lots of comments on it.
Yeah.
And the reception seemed pretty good, and that has encouraged us to do some other things. So we
so
already
we've
got some
other
new
things
plans in the works.
Yeah.
We're finding time.
Yep. We're making it work, and I think we'll get better at that as we go too. I think it'll be a little bit of a learning process, but I think we can already see that we're picking up on things just.
It's probably going to be just like the podcast. It'll only take like 100 releases to start to feel kind of natural.
It's like, oh, okay, this is what we do.
And by the time we hit 200, we'll really be in the swing of things then, right?
I don't think though, like based on like the work we did just prior today, we were working on this sort of thing, and I'm like, that's not what the first episodes of the podcast feel like. Like, I don't think we would look back on this work in 3 years and be like, oh, what were we doing there?
Well, I mean, maybe we could,
That's true.
But it's not like what we're doing like in a bad way. It was just like, if that happens, it's like, wow, we're really, really good now. But
true. Yeah. So that's exciting though to see what we can
we got some exciting things coming up, like always. You know, if you're not moving forward, you're standing still and dying, right, Tanner?
That's right.
And we ain't standing still or dying around here.
Not around here. So if you have, you'll start to pick up on what, I don't know, we're not necessarily saying too much about what we're doing just yet, because kind of more fun to actually do it rather than just talk about something we're going to do. And then after we execute, it'll be more fun to talk about it. But you'll get an idea, flavor for what we're doing. And then we'll be able to start to take more suggestions on how to continue to evolve that
and start to really put the Massenomics twist on things.
Right. Other things going on in the Massenomics world here, again, we won't explain it in great detail, but we've been doing some pretty cool brainstorming as far as the Massenomics podcast supporting members, what they're going to be getting out of that supporting membership outside of, most importantly, your friend of the podcast.
Like it could just end there, and it probably should just end there.
Oh, and that's it. It's ended there. No, the friend of the podcast, we've sent out, they've got discount codes before, that sort of thing. Maybe some stickers in the mail at times. We try to do stuff like that, but I think we've got something maybe in the works to kind of up that to a little bit, the next level a little bit, to kind of
there's a little something brewing there.
There's something brewing.
You know, we're still working out all the X's and O's. And
so we don't know the timeline on that and what it's going to look like, and really didn't tell you anything about it to begin with here, but just a teaser. So if you're not signed up to be a supporting member and you want to get on the ground floor of this thing I'm talking about that we're probably going to maybe do, you could get signed up.
Can we add another more, like one more, like
to make it further questionable? We probably might.
Don't for ever reason ever do anything to anyone that would ever. The Michael Scott thing, right?
Yeah. So that we had that going on. Do we want a can? Are we can worthy?
We probably should hop into a can here.
But we do have to talk about after the can. We have to talk about another medium that you have coming up. Another
medium, like a ghost teller. Is that that's the new medium we moved on to? Actual mediums. We need to speak to ghosts now.
We're crossing off all the other mediums. That's what we're gonna have to do. So this is a can segment.
So should I be closing my eyes here?
Yeah, you have to close your eyes.
Okay, my eyes are closed. My hand is open.
I have to refresh my memory on what this flavor is here, what we're dealing with.
Okay. Well, it is.
It'll be a new experience for me.
I can't tell if it's cold or if it's so hot it feels cold, Tanner.
I think we're in for a experience here. I don't know what.
I'm gonna say it's not bubbly right off the bat. Okay, I'm getting a fruity essence. Boy, I want to say like a red fruit of some kind, like a strawberry or raspberry kind of.
I'll tell you this, Tommy. If you got this right, I would shit.
No.
I will shit my pants live on the podcast if you get.
I want to get it right so bad. Then part of me was like rhubarb, maybe.
I'm not positive what it is.
Boy, it's almost like flowery kind of though. I think I say that for everything I don't know, but
I do think it tastes a little flowery like that. I feel that.
Okay, if this is LaCroix, if it is, I've never had this flavor, but I'm assuming this is what this flavor would taste like. There's like a hibiscus flavor, I think. I think I would go there.
Yes. I don't know what hibiscus is for sure. So
it seems like it's a flowery plant thing. I don't know though.
Yeah. Are you ready for the big reveal?
Yes, I'm ready. Oh, okay. I saw Guava Sao Paulo. I saw this one in Target the other day, and I thought, I could buy it, but I just bought coconut, and I didn't drink any of those things, and I'm tired of buying these
shitty ones.
Damn shitty ones that fill up my fridge and will never get drank. This isn't too bad.
No,
it's not great, but
it's not great.
I can at least drink this can.
What is
guava? I don't know.
I kind of understand what guava
Paulo
is, but what does Sao Paulo mean?
I don't know. Must be a Wisconsin thing.
Sounds like it. Yeah, that's why when I saw this in my fridge, I was like, oh, if Tommy knows this one, that would just be like...
It would only be if I'd had it before.
Yeah, right. But even then, I'm like, could you ever drink this and be like, that tastes like guava Sao Paulo?
It is to me, this is a fairly recognizable LaCroix, though.
That's true.
If I had this one again, I hope I'd remember this because it's a pretty unique profile they got here.
I almost don't like the floral thing.
There is,
yeah,
isn't there?
There is and I don't really like that.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't straight up taste like I get the pink fruit thing, but it's almost more like I'm eating a flower.
Yeah, like it kind of has like a rose petal kind of thing.
Yeah, yes. It even has a scent like that, like a plant scent.
Yeah, it does. Well, if only.
Well, what do you give it, Tommy?
I'd probably go 3.5.
I'm gonna give it a 3.
Dropping it
flat,
down.
Yeah. This isn't quite up there with my typical 3.5. And it's not bad. I can certainly drink this. And
I do love how they just don't still even bother anywhere on the can to explain to you.
No,
what
I know. That's what I was looking for. I'm like,
they're like the only.
All the other ones
that
do that, but these guys are like, nah, this is what it is.
It would be funny though. Yeah, like Mountain Dew, they don't explain on the can what flavors.
That's
Mountain
true.
Dew. But it is Mountain Dew. That's just the flavor, right? At this point,
I don't know what kind of mountain that's from.
I want to go to that mountain. Okay. Next medium, Tanner. We said next medium. I am going to be a guest on a radio show tomorrow.
Or do you want to hear an advertisement first here?
Yeah, we probably should actually.
Okay.
Probably not a bad idea. Wow, I just gave away the whole surprise, and now people got to wait, I guess.
Well, I'll do this. It won't be that quick, but I'll just do it anyways.
Don't do it quick. Yeah. Do it really long.
Today's show is brought to you by Texas Power Bars.
Oh.
Ever heard of them?
I feel like I'm in for a story.
You're about to hear a story. It's story time, folks. Buddy Caps first started lifting weights in the late 60s and began powerlifting in the mid 70s. At that time, he was working for Image Barbell, building gym equipment. Around 1976, a local machine shop started making Olympic bars for them and calling them the Image Bar. In 1977, Image Barbell became Champion Barbell. It was then that Buddy started looking at the bars with an intent of changing them for the better. In 1979, Buddy bought his first lathe to begin addressing the known issues. In 1980, his passion, drive, and purpose now had a greater mission. Buddy set out on his own to make what he believed was the greatest bar he had ever seen and trained with, and the Texas Power Bar was born. It was strong as a house, with the best knurling, and was maintenance-free. Hundreds of state, national, international, world, and Massenomics powerlifting records have been and continue to be set and broken on the Texas Power Bar. Check them out at texaspowerbars.com. Oh, the places you'll go, Buddy Caps.
That was a great story, Tanner.
Dr. Seuss reference.
Yep.
Good book.
Great book. Okay.
That's the type of thing you give someone as a gift, like an adult as a gift.
As
like
a graduation.
Yeah, it's
really
like,
sparks some inspiration.
Yeah, it's like, yes, this is going to be...
Good luck on the next chapter there, buddy.
Like, this has deeper meaning than just a children's
Good
book.
luck on your move to Western Northeast South Dakota. You're going to need it.
True that. So the radio.
Yeah,
Radio gets results. Is that true? We'll find out. Huh?
Well, I'm assuming it will. I don't want to say I'm a fortune teller here, but I can almost guarantee it's not going to get any results if it's anything like any of our other local media. The only results it's going to get is us talking about it to people not locally. That's the results it gets.
Right.
But yeah, you've been on this radio show multiple times. It was in the past more to plug the Strongman Showdown.
Yeah.
In this case, we don't have a strongman show to plug, but the host of the show, he reached out to me and said, Tanner's been on the show a few times. We think it'd be fun. We're sick of that guy.
Dumb.
We think it'd be fun to have you on the show. You can talk about all things Massenomics. And if someone's going to invite me somewhere to talk about Massenomics, I'm not turning that down.
And as you guys
like
know,
the
it gives
closest
us
you can get to literally tooting your own horn.
Well, it gives us a opportunity to post more stuff about it on social media.
It certainly does.
So I think they probably, you already knew him and stuff like that. But
I know this guy. I had played on a volleyball team with
but
this,
the Aberdeen American News article probably sparked this.
I think it's safe to say that it probably reminded him. Yep.
And now we have the radio thing. And I think what we're doing is circling the wagons on who.
Yep, I do.
Yeah, the Aberdeen magazine. I think
that's exactly what it's like.
We're going to have just about every local outlet covered outside of Aberdeen magazine.
We're going to try harder to get even more local outlets covered here.
That's true. We do have plans of literally circling the Aberdeen magazine wagon.
Just circling the local, the regional news market. We're going to have it pinned down so hard here pretty soon.
To the point where it's like, we want to see to what lengths we can go that Aberdeen magazine could still not have us in their magazine.
Because pretty soon they're going to be like, they've kind of been in everything else. Maybe it's weird if we do them now, right?
That's
we
true.
have to just continue to make it even more awkward.
That's true.
But we haven't covered them and everyone else has. Is this oversight on our end? What's going on? Like, it's a real moral dilemma.
Right. So excited to hear that radio show.
Yeah, I'm excited to be on. Well, after I got to be on the Barbend podcast, now I've upgraded to local radio. So I'm curious how they approach it differently.
Maybe I wonder,
is this AM or FM radio? I don't even know for sure. Do you know the station?
I think it goes on both.
Does it? Okay.
It has in the past. I don't know if they still have an FM station or not though. It could just be AM at this point.
See, I was never a sports talk radio guy.
I used to listen to this show when it fit my workflow a little bit better, and
I have some friends that are very very sports talk radio, like local sports talk radio.
Right.
That's never been me.
Dan Patrick is also really good.
No, that's
sports talk radio.
Him too. That's a lot
Dan
of people
Patrick is.
Yeah, I know a lot of people.
That is a good show, and I don't listen to it anymore. But that one gives my two cool beans for sure.
It does it for you.
It does it for me.
Tanner, I'm just going to mention this now. We didn't write this down, but before I forget, because we're always terrible at this week of this coming out, we do have a drop coming.
Yeah. Yes, the week that this podcast episode is out, there is a drop coming this week.
So we'll mention it again at the end of the show to be watch out for the drop, but we usually don't remember that until like the 2 seconds before we get off. So we do have a drop coming.
It's a big variety drop too. There's big variety here.
Yes. Some things you can wear. Some things you can wear on different parts of your body.
Yeah.
Some things you can
wear on parts of your body that we don't speak of on this.
Some things you can possibly use for decoration.
Yes.
So there's a lot of exciting things in this drop, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
So yeah, that will be coming out this week, and of course, excited to see how that goes.
Absolutely. Now I have one more quick thing here, Tanner, and then I have a story you have to tell. But
okay.
My brother was just in San Diego.
Oh, yeah.
For like a week.
St. Diego.
Yes, like a week or two ago. He went on this vacation, and he said, whenever I go somewhere, I'm just always thinking, whenever I go somewhere, like he's been going a lot of places, anyone's been going a lot of places in the last year, but his first vacation he's gone on like a year, and he's like, I'm just going through the airport thinking like, oh, am I going to see someone in a Massenomics shirt? I got to be on the lookout. Massenomics could be somewhere.
Yeah.
You just go through the airport, don't see anybody. And then we're in San Diego, and I'm thinking, well, it's California. I could run into someone with Massenomics clothes. And I kept looking around, didn't see anyone. And then finally one day, I cannot remember where he said he was, and he said there was a guy on the other side of the room. He had the blue lift shirt on.
Yeah.
And he's like, I wanted to run over to him, but also I didn't know. It maybe seemed awkward, so I just let it be. But
I wish you would have talked to him. And
I know. And I have yet to like run into anyone in Massenomics clothes.
I kind of
out
have.
in the wild.
Yeah, I kind of have a little bit. So, and it is very fun.
I'm excited for that day.
Yeah.
Someday it'll happen to me.
It'll be fun like at the Arnold this next year.
Well,
When it's like we just run into a bunch of people. It's like, I mean, it's not. It's cool in a different way. It's almost like, of course, we're going to see people in Massenomics stuff there, but it is fun there because there's a lot of them. But it is like if you're just in a random airport and you see someone,
it's
like,
just like in your daily life, like getting
Yeah.
caught off guard by it. That's when it's like the most exciting.
Yeah,
but the Arnold will be really cool too because there's no doubt going to be people wearing Massenomics stuff there.
Yeah, and the wheels are in motion of Arnold 2022 right now,
Which is a lot more than we could say last year at this time.
Yeah, I think we're getting things kind of we're in the preliminary stages of starting to get things prepared.
We're on the road
soon.
to the road to Arnold.
Yeah, we're on the road to the Arnold 2022.
I'm excited.
And on the way there, we've got a few other pit stops. We're going to be going to Kansas City.
Well, not on the way to the Arnold.
No, but literally like on the meta
in the months
way
the months leading up to the Arnold.
Right.
We do have some actual events we're going to this year, and
Yeah,
we're
we're gonna
really
be-
excited because that hasn't been a part of the Massenomics business
no.
model ever.
And I'm sure we've hinted at this or talked about it with other guests and stuff, but we're going to be at the Showdown in Kansas City in September. We're going to have a booth set up there. We're going to be in North Dakota in October. And then we got a couple other little things we're looking at possibly doing too.
Yeah,
just
if we can
depending
just
on
make
our
them
schedule.
work. Yeah, there's several others that if we just make them work, they're going to happen. So
Yeah. So that's
there'll
like
be more events in like 6 months than we've ever done ever.
Yeah. So and what do we be doing? Shaking babies and
Kissing babies
Yeah.
and shaking hands.
yeah.
Shaking babies and kissing hands too. I guess we could do it that way too if you want, Tanner.
Whatever the babies are into.
We've had this. So you mentioned this, Tanner, what, 2-3 weeks ago when we brought up this guy, this Tom Hanrath,
Yeah.
that, so this, I don't know, how do we even start talking about it again? Oh, we were talking about
standing
standing up on
the plane.
planes. And then we were saying this
The
guy.
king of it.
Yeah, this guy, when we went to the Arnold, stood in the aisle and talked to you the entire flight from Minneapolis to Columbus. Like, just
Yep.
stood in the aisle and no one was stopping him.
Yep.
They let him go. He talked to you for probably over 2 hours
Yeah.
in the aisle. Didn't know that was possible. He got away with it. Turns out he was he was Bill Kazmaier's childhood friend. And he also was like the SEALs before they were the SEALs or something like
He
that.
was in the SEALs.
Oh, he was in
He
the
was in
SEALs.
something else, and he was also like SEAL Team
6.
No, it wasn't 6. It was like 1 or something like that. It was I don't know which one. He was SEAL Team something, some number. But the follow-up, so like 3 different people all messaged about Tom.
When we mentioned him 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, like that DM'd about it. And so I don't know if some of them actually kind of knew about him through something
really?
too. Like someone did. One of the people for sure did, like, oh, it was cool to hear you talk about Tom. And like a couple other people did. But what they were mentioning is, so what year was that we went that we went there?
It was, well, that was, I think, the first year we went to the Arnold, wasn't it? When we flew like that?
Yeah. It must have been the first or the second. One of the two.
Yeah.
So it would have been like 2017.
That would have been my guess, 2017.
Okay. So he died that year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
So they're sending me his obituary.
Oh, damn.
So I think we caught him like just a few months before he died.
Holy.
And I didn't know about that
He seemed
when we
pretty lively.
Yeah.
'cause
Yeah.
I remember seeing him. We didn't flag him down or anything, but at the Arnold, he was like all over the place and
Yeah.
talking to people,
Yeah.
doing things. And he seemed a pretty active guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I guess we caught him just a few months before he died.
Now his memory can live on.
Yeah.
For the Massenomics
Yeah,
podcast.
that's right. And I still have his business card in my wallet.
That's actually pretty crazy
Yeah.
that you still have his business card now knowing that. Taylor.
Just because I've always looked, every time I've thought about throwing it away, I'm just like, this just is a funny memory. You know, I just don't want to get rid of
Wow. That is, wow, Tom.
it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Tanner, maybe onto something a little lighter now.
Yeah. Enough talking about dead people.
Do we have some podcast reviews? Do we want
do
to do
have
those,
a-
do we
yeah,
want to do
l-
those now?
Yeah, let's hit up a couple podcast reviews. This would be as good a time as any for that, wouldn't it?
I sure think so.
Should I find them? Okay, here they go.
Well, if you had them memorized, you could just read them if you memorized them.
No, I definitely can't do
Well,
that.
did you make a copy of them? If you made a copy, you could read the copy.
I found them.
Okay.
This one is from Ship 49. And also people have been, when I read these now lately, people will be like, huh, it's funny. I heard you finally read my podcast review. I left that like 6 months ago. Like I was
a backlog.
Yeah. This is titled South Central South Dakota to Northeast Tennessee. Best SD show about nothing with the best reviews and some cool beans. I'd give you a JD Power Award. Very good. Next one is from Powerlifting Cat. It's titled Delicious Incoherent Hot Takes. Every episode has one or more of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in their rambling, incoherent hot takes are they even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone is now dumber for having listened to this podcast. I award them no points, and may God have mercy on their souls. Billy Madison.
Billy Madison.
Excellent.
Oh, am I glad I called that guy.
It's poop again. Was that Billy Madison too?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. What's Chris Farley's the bus driver, and it's like, who would eat 30 bagged
Who did 30 sack lunches.
Something like that. I have not seen that movie for a really long time, but Billy Madison is a good movie.
It has been a long while. Yeah, I should watch that again.
What's better, Billy Madison or Uncut Gems?
That literally could almost be a versus because it makes no sense to compare them.
No, I mean it only makes sense in one way.
Yeah, exactly. The whole point of a versus is like Adam Sandler is the only thread between those.
Right. But which one of those movies is better?
Probably Billy Madison. But I liked Uncut Gems. I did, but Billy Madison is really good. So
what I know we've talked about the Adam Sandler movies a number of times on the podcast, but I don't know if we ever said this. Which Adam Sandler movie is your favorite of his?
To me, it always was Billy Madison.
Okay, Billy Madison.
Yeah, that was it for me.
So what, so Billy Madison is better than Waterboy. I think that's true.
Yeah,
so
I was never.
Happy Gilmore is a very good.
It is, but I still always thought Billy Madison was better than Happy Gilmore.
Billy Madison's probably better than Happy Gilmore too, isn't it? But which one's better between Happy Gilmore and the Waterboy? Happy Gilmore's a little better.
I was never a big Waterboy, or I shouldn't say I was never a big Waterboy fan. Like, oh, I love that movie, but Happy Gilmore I thought was better in that case. Yeah,
yeah. And then Little Nicky. You like?
I've only seen that one like once in my life.
What about Wedding Singer?
I've never seen all of the Wedding Singer.
I can't really recall it very well.
I don't remember it very well. Isn't there a part where he's like singing on a plane or something?
I know there was one part where
that one when I was a kid
at a wedding.
I was like, to me that one. I was a little kid when that movie came out. I was a little kid when all those came out, and that one seemed too serious for me. I didn't.
Yeah,
it wasn't as dumb as Happy Gilmore. I wanted dumb Happy Gilmore. When you're 10 years old, you want the stupidest things in the world.
Do you remember when he did like a cartoon?
Yeah, was it 8 Crazy Nights?
Yeah,
I remember that movie because I went to it in the theater in my small town where I grew up, and my brother Ryan puked on the floor, so we had to go home.
And this was last year. They had our special re-showing of it.
Yeah. So that's why I remember that movie. I've probably never seen the ending of it.
I wonder what he ate.
That's a good question.
Okay, and the last review here. Just wanted a brief intermission before the last review.
I thought we were only getting 2 today.
This one's it's from Drippin 101, and it's titled A Poem. I know the entire history of the Texas Power Bar, but that's not the only reason to rate this cast 5-star. From reviewing all sorts of beverages galore to handing out but many a JD Power Award. With many guests and stars featured on the show, all the way from northeast western South Dakota. Massenomics, how I love it so. So if you are ever in the mood to play over-under, give this podcast a listen, or it may well be your blunder.
The last 2 didn't rhyme.
Under and blunder.
Oh, under.
Yeah,
okay.
So if you're ever in the mood to play over-under, give this podcast a listen, or it may well be your blunder.
Okay.
Yeah.
That totally does rhyme. Oh, was that review left by Afro Man after he heard we were talking about his...
I had to make my wife listen to that song.
Yeah.
And we made it like a minute until she didn't want to listen any. It was like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, I guess it's humor or something.
And then she's like, oh, there's a whole album of them from all different states. And she's like, oh yeah, okay.
Don't you respect art? Come on.
This is called. Listen, he's naming all the cities in South Dakota, and we're from here. We've been to all these
So
places.
relatable.
Yeah.
We're talking about South Dakota by Afro Man, in case anyone is curious. You should look up the album. There's a chance your city or state is also mentioned in it. So
That's true. And it just hits different when it's the place that you're from, doesn't it?
It just does. Even you just find a way to make it funny. Even if he clearly doesn't know any specifics, you just find a way to make it funny.
That's right. We probably got a couple minutes until our guest is completely ready, it sounds like. So
Okay.
I was thinking of something else. Do you ever experience any road rage? Like, do you ever have that feeling?
I don't, because my chances to experience road rage, I looked in the last, I think, 2 years, my car, I've put like 4,800 miles on my car in 2 years.
Yeah.
I don't drive anywhere, Tanner. So my time behind the
There's
wheel.
just not very many opportunities.
And now that I got a bike, I ride my bike to the gym.
Right.
So basically the only time I drive a car is when I take my boy to daycare in the morning, or like if it's with the family and I'm driving.
Right.
Other than that, I don't got to drive. I don't got to drive.
So it's just
I'm
a
almost at
moot
the level in
point.
life where I don't drive anymore, Tanner.
Yeah, they might take your license away.
I probably get more road anxiety than road rage. Not around here, but like in bigger places. It's like, am I doing this right?
Right,
I don't know what's going on.
We don't have intersections like this in South Dakota.
Yeah, there's way too many things.
Why is there so many different ways you could go here?
And everyone's
Shouldn't everything meet at a perfect right angle?
everyone's weaving in and out of traffic way faster than what I'm used to. Like,
And there's more than 2 lanes. Like,
yeah,
why is there
that
so
actually,
many lanes?
When we went to Sedona, like in March, I think I
Okay.
went there, and we flew into Phoenix. We rented a car. We have some family that lives in Phoenix, and so we're gonna rent a car, stay with them a night, and then drive on up to Sedona. I think it's hour and a half, 2 hour drive, nothing too bad. And we get there, put on the thing, small SUV, instead of a car, small SUV, easy to get in and out and go. And they said, okay, here's your car, go. And I get in the parking lot, and they gave us a Nissan Armada, which is not a small SUV. It's a big SUV.
Yep.
And normally I wouldn't care, but I also don't want to drive that vehicle in a busy city. Like, it's just more of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that I just don't. And when I'm on vacation, that's one of my rules too. When I'm on vacation, I hate driving. I want to be on vacation and just drink and have people take me places and not
it's
think
not
about
relaxing.
anything.
Like,
It's not relaxing for me, because then I'm like, am I parking in a spot I'm allowed to park? Like, does this even fit in here? Am I allowed to park here during these times? Like, what way do I don't know. It's just annoying. I don't like any of that stuff. I want to get on vacation and just show up, drink alcohol, and be chauffeured around. That's what I want to do on vacation.
Yeah, the driving is not relaxing.
And then the whole time I think of it, it's like the liability of this vehicle I don't own.
Yeah.
What if someone else runs into me? Am I in trouble? I don't know how that works.
Right. Okay, now I remember the thing I really wanted to ask you about. That was what I was just mentioning.
Road rage. Okay. Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
The thing I really wanted to mention, and I wanted to get your take on this, it's something I've been noticing with the streaming services. The Hulu's, Netflix, Disney Plus,
Amazon
HBO, this thing. So they here, how do I phrase this? So they got everyone to subscribe to these things.
Yep.
So you could get the things that are on them, so you could see them, because you're like, I really want that because they have X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to get
wanted
this.
The Mandalorian, so I got Disney Plus.
So you got Disney Plus. Now, and maybe I shouldn't, to me, I feel like now what they're doing, maybe this has always been a thing, but what I've been picking up, okay, they have these things on there. Now there's levels to this thing. It's like just subscribing to Hulu isn't good enough. There's another level to really watch the things I want to watch. I have to have instead of level tier B, I need tier A. On Disney Plus, it's I came across the Black Widow show. If you have Disney Plus, you can't watch it. It's an addition. It's like a next tier.
Oh,
like to see.
I don't have Disney Plus, so I know Hulu has multiple tiers.
And then Hulu, so the one on Hulu that I love watching Seinfeld, and Seinfeld was on Hulu. Now Seinfeld is on. I was like, the frick did it go? It's like, it's like a more expensive Hulu, and I'm like, this is bullshit. Like,
yeah, the Hulu one's kind of confusing because Hulu Hulu guy in the beginning. I think it kind of started, I think it was mainly trying to be sort of a Netflix competitor, you know?
Right.
But then they have Hulu Live now, which is basically trying to be a cable replacement. Like it's live cable.
Right.
Is how people would think of it. And we have that just as our cable because our other cable was getting so insanely expensive that we went to Hulu Live. And also since we've had Hulu Live now for 2 years, it's almost doubled in price since we've had it. So that keeps going up. But
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about with Hulu. Disney, I wasn't aware of that one though. I guess I don't.
Yeah.
And now even it is funny too for Hulu Live. It only allows for, I think, 2 concurrent live streams. If you want 3, if we had 3 TVs
then
in
you
our
pay
house,
for more.
you have to pay like an extra $5 or $6 a month for another stream. And Netflix, don't they do something with that? I think Netflix you
we
can
have
pay
a
more
big
for
Netflix one with a bunch
for more
of
people, and
accounts,
I think even like 4K might not be on some of the cheaper
Right.
ones or something like that.
So like what I think is, you know, the old cable system started to suck so bad, and like the thing was that you're paying all this money, it just gets more expensive for all the stuff that you don't watch. And now with like the segmentation of like the further segmentation of streaming all the time.
Yep, everyone's splitting them all out again.
Splitting them all out and then like making all these different levels to each one. Like now it's not just Disney Plus or it's not just Hulu. There's like a couple different other choices within there to spend even more money. Like by the end of it, it's all of a sudden it's like, damn, like you're spending $200 again to get all the stuff you don't watch again.
I
like,
know
it's kind of like,
it is at the point you just have to be very selective and be like, I'm
just using this
we're
for
just
this
a
period
Hulu
of time.
family this month, and we're an HBO
Yeah.
family this month. And
Yes.
you could spend hundreds between cable or cable replacements and then all the streaming services. You could spend so much money, and you can't watch any of them seriously during that time either.
And I just think it sucks because it was a pretty good system. And now
it
it's
was,
just
and
getting
then everyone
worse.
wanted a piece of the pie.
Yeah.
And it is.
Damn
it
capitalism.
It is. Damn capital. Everyone wants the capital.
Yes.
No one wants the ism, right? Or
That's
maybe
right.
everyone wants the ism.
Yeah. All right. Let's hear from another sponsor. Hybrid Performance Method is your solution to strength. No BS training, nutrition, and education from the hybrid athlete. For the hybrid athlete. From hybrid athletes, I suppose. Get access to proven training programs that have delivered life-changing gains and podium finishes for thousands of people. Take your training and nutrition to the next level. Get a personalized nutrition plan, plus a dedicated coach in your corner, helping you navigate your nutrition journey. Head into every workout and every day knowing that you'll be challenged and end the day better than when you started. Visit hybridperformancemethod.com or follow at hybridperformancemethod.com and join the strongest team on the web today. They also have their hybrid training and strength coach app. You can sign up for that on their site. They have their nutrition and their courses planning on their site. All of those things, you can utilize our discount code. It's MASS, M-A-S-S, and that'll save you 5% on any of those. And for the lifetime of your training or nutrition programming, 5% off.
A whole lifetime.
Yes, a lifetime. That could be a long time.
A lifetime of savings.
That's like that ends up being a lot of savings.
It does.
Over a lifetime.
It certainly does.
Yes. All right, should we try to get our guest
Let's do it.
on the line?
Getting the phone line all revved up here.
Should have had that ready already, I guess.
Tanner's got to enter his long distance minutes to make sure.
Ready when you are. Perfect timing.
Should probably turn up the. Oh, there we go.
Hello.
Is this Big Angelo?
It is. How you doing, bud?
Good, Big Angelo. You're on the Massenomics podcast with Tanner and Tommy.
What's up, Angelo?
Oh,
Nothing much, man.
okay.
How are you guys doing tonight?
We're doing great.
We're great. We're excited to have you on. We've got a whole bunch of topics we want to go over with you, and beauty of it is we know you're pretty familiar with the podcast scene yourself, so should be a fun ride, I think.
Yeah, man. It's actually good to be on the flip side of these things. Like, I don't have to be. I'm not pressured to come up with questions. That's your job.
That's what we say. You can, like, when you're on the other side, it's like you can kick back and say, all right, do your job, guys. I'll just be over here when you need me.
Yeah, that's a great thing. Like, I don't have to worry about like negative reviews. If I do another podcast, it's all the pressure's on you in this case. Only Only thing that could happen is like people would think I'm a douchebag potentially after I do an interview, which is fine because that's like, you know, it comes with the territory.
It sure does.
Yes, it does. Okay, so you just finished up Raw Nationals here not too long ago. You wound up with 3rd place in the 83 kilogram class. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Is there a leg, Tommy? Do we have a little bit of a leg?
We seem to have a little bit of a leg.
Is there a leg on your end at all, Angelo?
A little bit, yeah. You guys are, yeah. There's a little bit of a delay between the response here.
Oh.
I could go maybe in a different location if it's on my end.
Well, let me check something quick.
Do you have your delay app on, Tanner?
Oh, it must be. All right. Can you still hear us, Angelo?
Yes.
I don't like that delay.
Well, it sounds fun, but it might just be the way it is.
Okay, it's just the way it is. We'll just go with that then. Okay. So you finished up 3rd place, and were you behind Russ and Sean? That's kind of like that's the big show then in the 83 kilogram class. Getting to get in on the podium and that is a pretty sweet experience, I would think.
Yeah. You know, behind Russ, Noriega was unfortunately had a little hamstring problem, which is ironic because his handle's Hamstring Poppy, and that was like kind of the problem that he had was hamstring.
Life
So
imitates
I mean,
art, I guess.
you live by the sword, died by the sword. So like I was behind Delaney Wallace, who's really just about as good as anyone in the 83s right now. The guy is a fucking stud. I actually predicted him to finish like over me when we did the Two White Lights preview shows and all that stuff. I'm always confident in his ability. So getting 3rd, that was our goal. Me and Joe Stanik's goal going into the meets, and we feel good to get 3rd. 808 total is, you know, it's pretty big for an 83 kilo because the big goal for a while was 800, and to surpass that a little bit has been good. And you know, whenever you can knock off a little check on the goal list that you make at the beginning of the year, it feels nice. And I was able to do that at Raw Nationals. But the goal for, I mean, like I said it on the podcast on Two White Lights, like how much do you celebrate 3rd place just in general? And you don't do it that hard for 3rd place.
Yeah.
You don't rent out the party bus for that. So you know, I mean, it's good. I feel I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of my accomplishments. We come a long way, but yeah, we got next year we got a gun for 2nd or 1st.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. You don't necessarily roll out the party bus for it and everything, but I wonder if you think it did maybe take you to another, maybe a next level or another tier, whereas previously maybe people were like, oh yeah, that's the guy that gets really bloody shins when he deadlifts, or maybe recognize you as like the guy from Two White Lights and that sort of thing. But then it's like when you're podiuming on the podium at nationals, it, you know, as a lifter, like I think that garners quite a bit of respect at that point.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was what I think that was kind of the thing that stuck out to me the most. I think that kind of goes back into last year where I was able to break the at the time was the deadlift record, the all-time deadlift record at the Arnold. And that was like kind of my feeling that, okay, I'm no longer the meme guy and the Two White Lights guy and the podcast host. I'm a good powerlifter who's, you know, within the top 10 and top 5. And like you said, you're spot on with that. Like podium at Raw Nationals being one of the 3 or even the top 5 means that, you know, I can do some things in powerlifting that are meme related or media related or pins related, or me getting off a bench in a certain way, or me throwing a belt on a bar. I created that identity for myself because I guess I have no one else to blame but me on that. But yeah, it's good to be known for it just being a good power lifter, or the guy who doesn't like the guy who deadlifts in squat shoes. That was me for a while too.
Yep. We had that on our list of topics here. The squat, shoes, deadlifting. So as long as now we've said, hey, yeah, people can recognize you for these things other than your podcast and that sort of thing. They recognize you as an actual lifter. Well, now we want to talk to you about the podcast and the other thing.
Time to reel it on back here.
Well, that's a perfect segue.
So we did want to ask you about two white lights, though. Honestly, like it's fun for us because we've been podcasting for a long time ourselves. You know, this is episode 277, so we have a lot of respect for what goes into it. And I know you guys have pumped out a lot of episodes over there, and I think you're in the hundreds now, and it seems like you're doing multiple episodes a week. I just wondered what's been your secret to being consistent and keeping it going like you have.
Oh God. Well, one, definitely getting a co-host, because Two White Lights has gotten like a whole lot of, I mean, I'm not going to say a whole lot of facelifts and changes, but it's kind of evolved from where I started with it, because initially I wanted Two White Lights to be something similar to what I'm doing now. But, you know, like when we started off with like our first 15 episodes, I had a co-host, and you know, it was a little bit loose, it was a little bit casual, and my co-host wasn't able to make episodes. And really, he had a different interest in powerlifting, where I was obviously going towards the USAPL route, the natty route. He was more so into the multiply stuff. And, you know, the guest I was getting on wasn't really his cup of tea. So he went his own way, I went my own way. Then it turned into like an interview-based only podcast. And that wasn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to always talk about topics with someone else and try to cover the sport in a certain way. And I really couldn't do that without a co-host, because talking by yourself about powerlifting is fucking mental.
Yeah. We talk about it all the time.
It's like crazy.
Yeah. I mean, just talking about powerlifting a lot can get tough, and that's why we honestly don't talk about it that much. But talking about it on your alone, that sounds insane, honestly.
Yeah.
You gotta be like Garrett Fear to do that. Like Garrett Fear could do a podcast by himself, talking to himself.
Yeah,
I cannot do that. I don't have his ability to just rant. Even though I think I'm decent at it, I'm not at that level where I can just talk about a specific topic and cover powerlifting in a way that I wanted it covered. Like, I think talking about other lifters, talking about their accomplishments, coming up with hot takes, covering meets, doing these things that we do on Two White Lights now is something I've always wanted to do, but I needed a co-host. Steve DeNovi kind of fell into my lap. I had him on Two White Lights because he was doing Midwest Primetime, and he kind of bought the primetime session into the local meet in the USAPL, and I thought that was an awesome idea. We talked about that. Then we just kind of figured out that we had a very similar personality, both big sports fans, wanted to cover powerlifting, want to make powerlifting as close to professional sport as we can, because I think there's not a lot of that in powerlifting, professional sport, but don't really take the initiative in making it a professional sport. So this is like Two White Lights contribution, where we have our hot takes, we cover meets, we try to provide some sort of analysis, we try to be unique in that sense, but you know, it's genuine because we genuinely care about the sport and we genuinely enjoy watching it. And then that's where the other topics kind of arise too, where him and I always brainstorm what we can do. We initially start off with the football team comparisons, which was really, really popular from our little team with me and Steve. Like, that was a really good step in the right direction for us. And you know, it was just a blast for us because we love football. Oh, we love powerlifting. We love sports. So combining it, and, you know, I'm like, all right, dude, come on like the podcast full time, and we can have these conversations with other people, with ourselves. We can provide meet previews, meet recaps. And yeah, actually, you know what? I mean, I'm not saying this because I'm on your podcast, but the way you guys handle like powerlifting in a unique, creative way was another inspiration. Like your lifter cards, for example.
Right. That's a comparison.
Like we did Two White Light lifter rating.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's like when I saw you guys do that, I'm like, That is a really fucking cool idea that I love. And powerlifters love it. Like, powerlifters appreciate that stuff. So if you guys have that, I'm like, okay, we're going to do like a Madden rating for the people who come on Two White Lights, and you know, come up with graphics for them, and, you know, try. We've had other ideas like the similar to that, but really like Massenomics, your page and what I seen is something I really wanted Two White Lights to be somewhat as, but not completely ripping off your style.
Well, and I think you've done a good job of that.
Yeah,
I mean,
really have.
You don't want to go too far in our style, because that's like a dead zone. You don't want to go there.
Yeah, no, that's nobody really wants to get all the way there. But what the formula there that works, and we recognize that, like, it's a similar thing. You're taking something that A, it looks cool and it's fun, and then B, it's very repeatable. You can do it kind of the same formula, just repeating it and incorporating new people, and then you get to incorporate the community, a whole bunch of the community. You know, they want to share it. It's fun for them.
And it's fun and original outside of just posting another lifting video. Like, so few people on Instagram actually post original content that's not just them lifting.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. That was our thing. Like, because King of the Lifts does their own thing, and that was another like inspiration, you know, in a sense. But it was something that I just like, if they do lifting videos, let them do lifting videos.
Right.
Let them let them be a repost page. We don't want to be a repost page. So we got to come up with other things that makes us unique, but also provides powerlifters with something to do. Because, you know, when we do the lifter ratings, it's cool for people like Russ Orhe or Taylor Atwood who come on the show, of course. But the coolest thing is just seeing powerlifting fans debate in the comment section.
Yeah. And
seeing them interact with each other. And sometimes it gets angry. Sometimes it's civil. But it's all like, this is something that the sport needs, is people to be really passionate about their opinions, because that's what every single sport has. They have fan bases who debate endlessly about things that really it's a game, and they have, I mean, if they don't, I mean, that's their identity. Their identity is being a Cubs fan. And that's someone's identity now, is being a powerlifting fan. So giving them a format to have senseless debates with one another it brings a smile to my face whenever I see like a 200 comment debate on Two White Lights.
Yeah. Do you ever find yourself getting defensive when you guys put something out there like a lifter rating, and then you know, you see the comments come in and say, "Oh, that's bullshit. That's not right for X, Y, and Z." Do you ever like initially when you just first read it and you're like, "Hey, dude, like I made that," and you're kind of like grinding my gears on that, like, you know, like I'm not saying that that's the approach you take, but do you get that feeling like where you just like don't like the critique on something you produce? Do you feel that at all?
Oh, absolutely. And I got to get better at like not doing it, because like that's not necessarily the critique. It's someone who just like fucking doesn't get it, and it annoys me. Like, but here's the thing that I do have the advantage on. So I get the comment from my personal page. So, and also I do save like 1 to 2 shots on Two White Lights, because a good example is Amanda Lawrence. So somebody commented on Amanda Lawrence's lifter rating of, you know, like she doesn't just like the best female powerlifter in the IPF and USAPL doesn't deserve a 98 lifter rating, which is fucking stupid. Like, it's a dumb, it's an incorrect take. But I get to get like one snide remark in there before I let like the pack kind of get to that person and have their own debate going. Like, sometimes I can't help, and also I'm kind of defending the lifter, because there's one thing if you're coming after me, like someone like, how did you come up with this lifter rating? Well, like, I'm like, I literally didn't. The lifter themselves came up with the lifter rating. So I'm like, I didn't make this. So I can easily let that roll. But if they're starting to attack other lifters that came on the show, then maybe I'll throw in one. But the comment alone, it was something along the lines of like, her technique isn't good. But then like, oh yeah, like my comment was, oh yeah, in other news, high school quarterback tells Tom Brady his throwing technique isn't good.
Right. It's the
like,
same thing.
That's my comment. And then Yeah, and then like people like it, and it
Yep.
actually adds to the interaction part aspect.
Yep.
And I don't know, we had a lot of those, and you know, at times like I could be like a real smart ass with it, because or like just instill in a professional way, like you know, tell them that it's a social media department talking to them, and in the DMs, and like they think that we have a social media department onto what like
it's all me,
like we have that
jackass.
department when it's really just me like behind it.
Yeah.
So then that's the way I get like weird DMs out of there. Like I still have my fun with it, you know, like critiques of it. Like on another person was like, this is like when Bleacher Report takes a quote and they post it on their page in order to cause a stir. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what we're trying to do.
Yeah. It's kind of
You
called
hacked-
social
I'm
media.
absurd.
Yeah.
You have just hacked sports media.
Yeah.
I like how this person came up with like he thought he discovered this amazing thing, but it's really like no, that's we're trying to copy a format that works. It's a formula that works.
Yeah.
That's why it's emulated.
It's the classic
But whatever.
lift shorts conundrum. It's just when we originally got called out for our shorts being expensive, the comment was, you just took the regular shorts, put your logo on them, and charged more for it. It's like, yes, correct.
That's the apparel
Yes.
industry.
That's the business
and-
plan here. You know, we're following the same model
Yeah.
as everyone.
Oh, oh God. Oh man, I have such fun. Yeah, I have such fun debates with that about with powerlifters where, you know, like Russ Ward, he ran Get Better Today. They're like, I can't believe people would spend $60 for shorts. What a ripoff. I'm like, do people buy the shorts? And the answer is yes. They
Yes.
buy the shorts. Like, dude, do I have to explain to you guys how business works? It's boiling it down to this most simple thing. People are willing to buy the $60 pair of shorts that Russ sells because he knows what he's worth and he's making a profit off that. I'm a history major and I figure that shit out. Like you guys have to understand.
Yep. Yep. It is classic.
And I loved how you guys and I loved how you guys kept going with it too. Like now it's the joke in powerlifting where you found a way to use that and no one could ever make fun of you for it because you've made the joke so many times.
Yeah.
And it's like now it's part of the idea. And now people are more willing to spend money on the shorts.
Yep.
Whoa, you're kind of like reverse engineering this right now.
Yeah,
Slow down.
Stop. Stop right there. Don't go any farther.
It's genius. I tip my hat to you, gentlemen.
Yeah. You brought up King of the Lifts. I'll say King of the Lifts podcast for the sake of the discussion here. And in my mind, maybe there's more out there, but to me, there's as far as podcasts that are really like breaking down the sport of powerlifting. We're absolutely not in that conversation. You know, we talk to a lot of powerlifters on our show and like to have a good time and stuff like that. And we talk about lifting and we're in the community, but we are not
Going through the X's and O's.
no, and we're not qualified to do that. Really, that's not our strong suit. It's not what we do. But when you are talking about doing that, I kind of look at Two White Lights and probably King of the Lifts are the two that do that quite a bit. I don't know if you do agree, but assuming you do agree, if those are the two,
Oh yeah, that would be a good comparison.
Okay, so are you guys out of the two? Are you guys doing the better job?
I think we forced their hands in order to step up their game, and I think that was needed for them because competition breeds success. I mean, we're going back to business. That happens in business. That happens in sports. And when we started to cover the sport of powerlifting, we noticed that King of Lift stepped their game up and tried to cover the sport of powerlifting more. And you do need that parity. Like I, of course, think that we do a better job of it because I mean, if I'm doing Two White Lights, then I can't say otherwise. But King of Lifts has stepped it up. They try to put their own unique spin on it, and you do need that parity, you know, to cover the sports. And it gives people different avenues because people like Ryan, Arian, and the few other guys he has on to do a meet breakdown, they do prefer the way of doing it because they're a little bit more, they're not as hot takey and they're not as harsh with their opinions. Where Two White Lights, we are, and that can upset people, but then that offers the difference between the two, right? Like that if you have Coke, you have Pepsi.
Yep.
So we kind of offered a different taste to it where we do piss off people on Two White Lights. We have our hot takes. I'm very opinionated. Steve is opinionated as well. I think I've taken most of the heat though for opinions had on Two White Lights. Steve always gets off easy, but
that's what she said.
Which is fine. But on King of the Lifts, it's a little bit more straightforward. They're a little bit more. They do play it safe quite a bit, which is someone's cup of tea. Like for me, I couldn't do that. I couldn't play it safe always, and it's again, like I said, good to see the parody and that. And again, when we started making graphics, like for our predictions, our previews, they started to do that too. And like it's a better page now, King of the List, because of that. Because it was getting redundant. You see lifting video after lifting video after lifting video. We follow all these people. Right. Occasionally there's a good one that we don't see, but we follow all these people. But now they have parody. They have someone who's doing something different. They're like, okay, let's make our own graphics. Let's do our own thing. And now their page is a lot better, in my opinion. Which, you know what? I'm going to sound, arrogant and egotistical, but I think that's Two White Lights' credit. I'm going to take all the credit for King of the Lifts getting better.
I like that hot take.
I think that's probably a pretty fair way of looking at it.
Though. I think it is a fair assessment.
Yeah. And me and Ryan get along very well too. Like we do converse a lot. Just like we're like, and also if he does something, I try to not step on his toes because he's trying to do something on his own. And like I don't want to emulate him too much, and I don't want him to emulate me too much. So like you don't want to copy each other's styles either.
Do you feel like you don't want to like wish bad on him, but you wouldn't feel all that bad if something bad happened?
No, that's the thing. I can't because we do need King of the Lifts there. Because you know what King of the Lifts does? King of the Lifts reposts lifters' lifts, and I'm never fucking doing that. I am not going to go on my phone and repost every big lift that happens throughout the day. And I need him to do that. Yeah. So if he's gone, people are going to look at Two White Lights like, okay, you guys got to do this shit. I'm like, no, fuck, I didn't. Like, this was, we could do a post a day or 2 posts a day, and it's a graphic. I don't want to do the lifting post every single day. That's,
you have to do 3 posts a day.
That is so hard.
You have to get a repost app.
Yeah, no, but here's the thing. He created this identity where if you get a repost on King of the List, it really does mean something.
Yeah, no, it is a big deal.
Like, it that's a big deal for us. So if you get a repost, and if you're a new lifter and you get a repost, it means something. And we need King of the List in powerlifting because of that. Like, we need him there. And we need the guys there to do that because now it's a thing. Now it's identity. When it's gone, you're gonna know it's gone, and you're gonna regret it. You're like all the critiques it gets. You're like, oh, why is this lifter posted? Why is that lifter posted? It's now part of the culture of powerlifting. So if that's gone, you're believe it or not, even the biggest criticizers and biggest opponents of King of Lifts will regret and miss it when it is gone.
True. Do you ever, do you think Two White Lights has become kind of the unofficial, official podcast of the USAPL at this point?
Oh, yeah, I actually think we are, which is hilarious. That is a turn I did not think it would happen because we critique the USAPL a lot.
Oh, okay, because you were too critical.
Yeah, I mean, but that's actually what made me respect the USAPL a lot because we were critical of a lot of things that they did, and they actually listened to us and tried to change what they did. I'm like, whoa, okay, like that. I can't. If you do that, I really respect it. And I think now that most of our listening demographic is USAPL IPF lifter, we still try. I mean, I'm a big powerlifting fan. I do try to get into other federations, and I do commentate meets for USPA. I would love to commentate meets for WRPF and all those federations. I have close friendships with people who are on the untested side of powerlifting, but you go where your strengths are. And if I'm a USAPL competitor, all the coaches I know, I'm getting coached by USAPL coaches. Yeah, it just makes sense for me to have that be my strong suit. But we try to be for all of powerlifting. But I think inadvertently we became the podcast for USAPL lifters, which is so. It's actually a really good feeling. I would like to play it off like it's not a big deal, but it's kind of a big deal to me. Like at Raw Nationals, USAPL member, they weren't part of the executive board or anything, asked me to commentate the sessions that were going on because they listened to Two White Lights, and I was more proud of that than almost anything I've ever done in powerlifting. It was a really cool feeling.
Yeah.
For
That's
sure.
really cool. Is there any lifters or anybody in general that you've really wanted to get on as a guest that you haven't been able to?
Oh, we just had Taylor Atwood on, which that was it. That was the long one that I'm like, why the fuck doesn't this dude come on the show? I've asked him 3 or 4 times. I think I could have a great interview with him, and he told me we were actually getting piss tested together at Raw Nationals, and we were bullshitting back and forth, and there was a silence in the room. It was like, okay, Angelo, now that I met you in person and know what you're about, I would love to come on Two White Lights. I'm like, you saw the fucking DMs, and you held out till now. And he had actually a pretty good philosophy of it. He doesn't want to do anything that he doesn't know the person.
That's fair.
He's got to meet them personally, or he's got to talk to them. And I actually really respected it. So that was really the only guy that I really wanted to have on. You know what? I would say Ray Williams, but I haven't had the good timing is everything with Two White Lights too, and I haven't had the best timing with Ray Williams to get him on Two White Lights.
Right. And
that's another person where you got to have some sort of chemistry, which I don't know how that interview would go just yet.
Candido refuses to come on our podcast.
That is not surprising. Did you know how fucking long it took me to get Candido on Two White Lights?
Was it a long process?
It was a long process to come on. I don't know if I don't want to share too much because I think I don't know. It's kind of it would be exposing his philosophy on doing things, but yeah, I asked him in probably 2018 to come on, and I had enough conversations with him to have him come on Two White Lights, and that was the only reason why. I was I think we've grown comfortable enough with each other where we could have a really good conversation, and we did. That was a huge breaking point in Two White Lights getting Candido on, but he's a very peculiar guy.
I think as far as we're considered at this point, him not coming on provides us more value than it does of him coming on, because we're able to kind of turn it into this
running gag now.
Yeah, it's just we love the running gag, so it's a fun thing of although sometimes we have to be careful because we have a great loyal audience, and sometimes the comments and stuff, it almost gets to be too much maybe, where it's
people take it more serious than what we want them to.
Right. We never want anything to be negative, or malicious of any kind, but it turns into a long, funny running joke that way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You gotta have that identity too. That's another thing that I really like about you guys, is that you're able to do that. I don't know if this is I don't know if you guys would like this comparison, but I always thought of you guys like Barstool Sports.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair.
like the alternative, but people tune in because it's the alternative. I actually kind of wanted Two White Lights to be that way because I'm a big Barstool Sports fan. Well, let me rephrase that. I'm a part of my take fan. I think some of the Barstool Sports thing could be a little bit like too frat guy-y, like a guyish, you know?
Right.
And that's not really my personality, but like I'm a big part of my take fan, and they're a parody of like an actual sports talk show, and it actually is more entertaining in that way because they know the game so well, they're able to make it comedic. And like what you guys have done is very similar to that, and I love that kind of what got me on to Massenomics. I'm like, I understand what you guys are trying to do, and it's just perfectly aligns with my personality.
Well, good thing we're connected with someone out there.
Yeah. So you're the one that likes it.
Oh, shut up! You go on the Massenomics podcast reviews. You're blowing Two White Lights out of the fucking water. Shut up! You guys have way more of an outreach than Two White Lights.
We have pretty elaborate.
Don't blow smoke up my ass.
We have pretty elaborate plans to get reviews.
Yeah,
we have a lot goes into us getting those. So we've done multiple billboards based on the reviews. So.
I saw that. It's so fucking awesome. I love, dude, you have no idea. Like, I'm not joking. There's very little in powerlifting as far as creativity goes that I'm like, that's why I get so excited when I see it. Because I tried it with Two White Lights, and really I want to do a much better job with it. But then when I see what you guys do, and I love it. Like, it is so creative. It is so outside the box thinking that I get excited to see it. And really, it's like the only thing that I go on my phone, I see I saw you guys take a picture with that billboard, and I laughed. I literally like laughed out loud. I'm like, that is so fucking awesome. That is so great. And you know, that's your special sauce.
Yeah, that's this is a great podcast because we just get to pat each other on the back and forth here. Like, tell us.
My turn now.
Yeah. Yes. We've got a game we play with every guest every week. We do a little overrated to underrated, and we've got a special Angelo set of topics that we came up here, and the rules of our game. You get your druthers to elaborate as much or as little as you would like to on your answer. But the important thing to remember is you do have to arrive at a final answer of overrated or underrated. You can't ride the line. So if you're ready to play, we'll get it rock and rolling.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So topic number 1, and I know you can't see me here, but we do have this is recorded in video on our end, and I'm making the hand gesture right now. Overrated or underrated, this emoji hand gesture that it's like it's like an Italian hand gesture. I don't know what it's called. Oh. You tell me.
Oh, it's what the fuck.
That's what
it
means.
Huh? It typically means if an Italian does that, you're like, well, what the fuck are you doing? What's going on here? Like it's easily it's what the fuck or what's wrong with you or you know what? It's underrated in the sense that it holds so much power because if you do that, like when I do that, that means like I mean something. Like I'm actually like I don't do it as a joke. Where a non-Italian does it, it's as a joke, and it takes all power away from it. But like once you actually harness that power, it's the most underrated thing because people know that like, okay, this guy means about, you know, he means what he's about to say.
It seems like there's been a real rise in the use of that as an emoji. Have you noticed that too, as of late?
Yeah. I've noticed it particularly on my page. It's very funny the casual racism you can get away with if you're white. Because people are like, you know, they do that and they do like the pasta things and the
stereotypical
Italian. They call me like Mr. Spaghetti, and I'm like, Guys, hold on. At what point does this become offensive?
Yeah.
That you call me Mr. Fettuccine and Mr. Spaghetti. And you know what? The craziest shit to me is like when they do the Italian accent to me, and then I'm like, okay, you gotta fucking stop, because now you're crossing that line of weird, like, no, you're not, we're not cool like that. Like you doing the horrible either New York accent or like the Super Mario accent. Like, okay, I don't know if I bought this on myself by, you know, kind of hamming up how Italian American I am, but shit, like it can turn south quick, and I can immediately be like, okay, this guy's agitating. I'll give him the what the fuck emoji.
Yeah, that's when you get them. Yeah,
you know, if that's the case, like. They come up with oh, Angelo, what's up? I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? And, you know.
Watch one episode of The Sopranos, head over to the White Lights page, and you're just ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah, all
right, overrated.
But, I mean, I hope people don't overrate it. I hope people don't overrate it.
I think it's underrated.
I think it's underrated. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, like you can easily overrate something by fucking it up and ruining it.
Okay, overrated or underrated SBD, the company?
Geez, I'm gonna say overrated, and you know that's good because I don't ever have to be worried about their sponsor. So it's a pretty easy business move on my part.
Yep.
They do have quality equipment though.
There has been a legitimate rise in Stoic, the use of Stoic as of late, though. Like, I believe they probably like cutting into some of that market share.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I mean, if we're gonna market right now, I mean, there could be a reason why. I mean, as soon as they signed me, fucking sales went off the roof. So maybe I need a raise. Yeah, like I don't know. Maybe I need a little bit of maybe extra kickback on that. But you know what? Like I say with every equipment company, it's like all of it's pretty damn good. You know, like they do a good job of things. Just it like depends on who you support. SPD. You know what, man? I might change my answer. I'm gonna get really pissed off. What they do a really good job of is marketing, which like that's like they do have good equipment, but they do an excellent job of marketing their athletes. Mm-hmm. And that's why people wear their stuff, because they want to emulate the certain people that wear SBD stuff. But if I'm making a promo for SBD and I'm sponsored by Stoic, like what an asshole I would be for doing that. So I'm just gonna go overrated based on I'm gonna try to keep it real with you guys.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But I love Pete Spence. I do really enjoy the people at SBD. They do provide the sport with such a great marketing, and they do great things for the sport. But I'm a Stoic guy, so I want to see Stoic get to SBD's level. So of course that means taking the piss out of them.
Amen. Overrated or underrated, the Madden franchise?
Oh, fuck, that's a good one. I mean, post 2006, overrated as hell. But people don't appreciate the amazing years they had from 2000 to like 2007. Like those games were so damn good, and that's what I tell like the high schoolers I teach is like you guys didn't even experience Madden 2005, and I feel bad for you because that was legitimately like the greatest thing ever. So, and they also like totally removed John Madden.
True.
Yeah, it's just purely a name at this point.
Yeah, I mean, younger kids would be like, "Who is John Madden?" I think.
Yeah, and that would make me want to punch an 8-year-old head because fucking John Madden.
But also the other thing they did is they removed their competition. Like they're the only ones that can make football games. I feel like that's part of the problem is that they're the only ones that can do it.
Yeah. Oh no, I agree. Like I said earlier, right? Competition breeds excellence. And since the competition is gone, they could release the same recycled game every year, and you'll have a football fan who's the age of 15 through 23 years old to buy it, and they'll make money, and they have no incentive on improving the game because there's no competition. And back in when I mean seriously, when I sound old as fuck, but in 2005, that game holds up as being like just about as good as any game out there, with the amount you could do, the gameplay itself. Yeah, I mean, I haven't bought a Madden game since like 2011, which tells you something, because I will waste time on a video game. Like, trust me, I will do it.
Who's on the cover in 2005? Is it Vic or McNabb, or like maybe Vic is a little before that?
No, just so that was like, so 2004 was Vic with the playmaker mode. Ray Lewis was 2005 with the hit stick.
Oh, that was
yeah.
2005?
Like,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
dude, that game was so good.
Yeah, that was good. I agree.
I think that was the next game. It was a truck.
Okay.
They knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
They could have done that all in one game, and they didn't.
That's true. They had that all. Yeah. They're like, let's just do one at a time.
Yeah,
here.
I don't want to do too much at once.
Yeah. That's good. Okay. Overrated or underrated Olive Garden?
Overrated. I mean, dude. So here's the thing about Olive Garden, which it's not all right. So it's not because I'm Italian. It's because it's a fast food chain, and fast food chains typically suck. Like, if you really go down to it, like they suck. Like, they're not great cuisine that you're about to have. So Olive Garden is that way. And people are like, well, I bet you if you had Olive Garden and real Italian food, you wouldn't tell the difference. Like, yes, I can, because it's just not fresh. Like, that's what people don't understand. I'm like, it's just not fresh food.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, their menu makes sense. Their menu isn't anything ridiculous. It's just not fresh food. And because it's a fast food chain, like, that's really like the only issue with Olive Garden, is that it's a fast food chain. Like, right. TGI Fridays and Chili's, like,
are the pinnacle
you eat
of
it,
food.
it's like, okay. It's like you eat it, and you're like, okay, this is going to be some, like, some bar food, appetizer, some real shitty food that I'm about to eat, because, I need to save some money and have these. I got to go out and have some light beers with this, these chicken wings. But no one's sitting there being like, man, the 5-star cuisine of Chili's. Like, no one's.
So if you
the same thing with Olive Garden. It's like, that's the only difference.
So if you had to eat at Olive Garden, though, what would you order?
Anything that's like, I would like, you probably, so Italian American food it's really hard to fuck up. Like, you can microwave certain foods and it'll be fine. So, like, fettuccine Alfredo is pretty easy, like, to make taste at least halfway decent. But, like, with Italian food itself, it's not even, you're not even comparing the same thing, because the menu is going to be different. It's going to be a whole lot of, like, heavy creams and cheeses, and that's really not Italian food.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's fair. What about the breadsticks?
Oh, that's another thing. You can't fuck up breadsticks. Garlic. I mean, it's like, if you somehow fuck up garlic bread, you're insane. Like, you don't deserve to be in the kitchen. So I can eat the breadsticks and be like, okay, this is pretty standard breadstick,
Yeah, I think that's good. Well, good news, Angelo. You passed overrated, underrated. We were a little nervous there for a little bit, but you pulled it out. You
passed it.
Yeah, you passed.
You just did it.
You did it. You should know.
I thought these were all my opinions. Like,
no. If you failed, we wouldn't be able to air the episode.
It's pass or fail for sure. And like,
shit.
Yeah, sometimes we bring that up beforehand, and sometimes it's just a surprise ending.
Oh, sweet. All right, cool. I mean, wait, hold on, because I know you guys posted on the story. Like, if people go the opposite way of me, do I have to like start an argument with them, or what's the deal?
You don't have to. It's encouraged, though. Yes, it's certainly encouraged.
All right, I'll because I think if I'm going to play into Italian stereotypes, I would have to argue with everyone.
You better get your emoji ready. I would say that.
Yeah, I know what I like to do. If I feel really like passionate about something, I just send people voice recordings.
That's kind of the unorthodox way of communicating nowadays.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because then, I mean, how are you going to get my tone? Like, the tone means everything.
That's true. That's right. Angelo, that kind of wraps up everything we wanted to chat with you about today. We really like what you're doing at Two White Lights. We want to congratulate you on USAPL Raw Nationals this year. And also give you a chance here. Where does everyone find you, find Two White Lights, and anything else you might want to get out there?
Yeah. So, one, thank you for having me on. This is actually an honor. I don't think I've been this excited to be on a podcast in a while, but, Fortino Power, 140_power. People thought I was 14 years old for a while, and that was frustrating.
Just a lot of older guys were friending you.
But I thought that was a funny thing about my handle was I thought I like had the most creative handle of all time because it's my last name, but in code.
Okay.
And people were like, "Wait, are you that 14-year-old powerlifter?"
Oh.
And I was like, "I doubt it. I doubt I'm that guy."
I did not get
So there's that.
your last name until you just explained it, and even then it took me a second.
When you
I'm
said,
like, yes.
When I had to, because I always look 14, like I'm like 14, 14, like it never clicked until you said 14, 14, like it all made sense then.
Yeah, right. Like that's actually like part of me is really happy that you didn't quite catch on, but now you're like, oh, that's actually like that makes sense.
Yeah,
but also
totally
part of me is like, well, now people can't find me because they don't get that at all.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. And the easier one is 2_white lights. The number 2_white lights. If you guys want to follow the page, we're trying to beef it up a whole lot more. The progress has been there, but we're trying to get better. We're trying to up that creativity a little bit.
Yeah, I think it shows. You guys are doing a great job. We for sure appreciate having you on. This was awesome, and we'll keep up on everything you guys are doing over there, and keep up the good work.
Thank you very much. You guys do the same. Have a cold one tonight because I don't know if you guys have been drinking. I've been drinking this entire time, but if you haven't been, do it.
A Guavo Sao Paulo LaCroix here.
Wait, what do you have?
So it's a LaCroix, but the flavor is Guava Sao Paulo. Never heard of it. First time for us.
Oh yeah, you guys are LaCroix guys. I do remember that. I mean, I'm drinking Coors Light. I was trying to be really Midwestern with it.
We like those too.
Yeah. That's the next choice.
Because you guys, I have the deadlifter shirt for my favorite beer in the summer, Budweiser. So
yeah. That's right. You do have the deadlifter tee. That's right. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. Immediately when that shirt came out, I'm buying it. Like deadlifter, I'm deadlift specialist, and I love Budweiser. So, I would be a phony if I didn't get that shirt.
Yeah, I can't be having that.
That's true. A match made in heaven.
Yeah, it was perfect.
All right. Thanks, Angelo.
Thank you.
All right, boys. Thank you. See you around.
See ya.
All right, see ya. Bye. Tommy, what do you give him?
Cool beans.
Two Italian.
Two 2 Italian cool beans.
I imagine a waitress from the Olive Garden bringing out one platter with cool beans and a second platter with cool beans.
Sir, did you know this is endless cool beans? As many cool beans as you can eat.
Yeah. And that's how they're served.
Yep. No, that was a cool interview. Although there was a little bit of
that leg.
We've never really experienced that leg before.
We haven't. That was unusual.
That was new. Wasn't it?
Was definitely worse at some points than others.
Yeah, you could hear it sometimes catching up to itself.
But it's hard to joke around a whole lot when there's a several second delay. You got to kind of sit it out for for some of that.
Yeah, that's part of the name of the game, I guess. When you're getting people
rolling with the punches.
Yeah, and that's what we do. We just improvise, adapt, overcome. That's what I always say.
just like the saying you made up, Tanner.
This episode is brought to you by Fusion Sport Performance Supplements. Do you know what's in your supplements? If you use Fusion Sports Performance, you always will. Fusion SP prides itself on being fully transparent, never using proprietary blends, and always providing its customers with top quality products. You could even go like this. Top quality products. They offer 2 pre-workout options. They got the Super Soldier pre-workout, and then you got the Mad Titan High Stem pre-workout. If you're really feeling like getting after it, you go for the Mad Titan High Stem. They've got Healing Factor post-workout. That's BCAAs combined with creatine monohydrate and other great ingredients to help maximize your efforts in the gym. They've got their whey protein isolate. It's got 27 grams of protein per scoop, 0 fat, low carbs. It doesn't contain any soy or gluten, and it won't cause any stomach discomfort. It's become the go-to protein powder of everyone at Massenomics Gym. Yeah. Most orders are shipped within 1 business day, and every Fusion Sports Performance product comes fully backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to fusionsp.net and use code MASS, M-A-S-S, all caps. It'll save you a massive 20% on your order, Tommy. 20%.
Wow. 20.
Everything on the whole entire site. The whole damn thing, 20%.
All of it.
Yeah.
Tanner, we have a few more things we have to talk about here.
All right.
Just in the name of proper follow-up, we can now say that there is an NBA Finals champion.
There is. The Greek Freak did it.
This is our 3rd episode getting to mention the NBA Finals.
That's true.
And, and if they didn't win last night, I thought, wow, we're going to be able to talk about it for 4 episodes.
Yeah. Normally we don't talk about the NBA at all, so why wouldn't we talk about the NBA Finals every time?
So we can finally provide closure
won.
to everyone that wasn't keeping up with it, that the Bucks did win.
I tell you what, Giannis kind of won me over now. I'm a fan.
He's awesome.
Yeah,
I don't know how you couldn't like him.
I like him as well as anyone in the NBA now at this point.
I don't know how someone couldn't.
Yeah, I mean, great time to be a bandwagon jumper, but just as far as players go, I think he's
he seems like a great guy. Like,
he's kind of got some little funny things that he says on occasion, but yet still like pretty classy and
about like as underdog of a story as you
and
could
he's
possibly
stuck
have.
with Milwaukee. We're from Western Northeast South Dakota. We get that, like he didn't.
It's like LeBron goes to the Heat. Don't care. Don't like LeBron. LeBron comes back to Cleveland. Hey, I love LeBron.
Right.
LeBron goes to the Lakers. Don't like LeBron anymore.
Right.
I'm just perpetual underdog over here.
That's kind of how I feel, and I'm like, the Milwaukee Bucks. Hell yeah, like that's great. Like they're the champs. I think that's
Kawhi
cool.
wins championship in Toronto. That's awesome. Kawhi goes to the Clippers. Maybe that's more of an underdog, but I don't care. It's the Clippers.
It's still LA. Yeah.
So I don't care anymore.
Yeah, there's something to, and maybe that is a part of us being Midwesterners or more rural. We kind of think about that. But yeah, absolutely. I think that's cool that they won.
They did, and there was there was some highlights that he had.
Oh my God! I mean, we talked about it just from an athletic perspective. That guy's insane.
Yeah, there was a few highlights.
50 in that last game.
Yeah,
just ridiculous.
To be like known for not being a good free throw shooter, and then to have basically as good of a free throw night as anyone could ever have. I think that shows like, hey, yeah, you deserve that.
I like how after they won, he kind of poked too at. I could have joined a super team, but I didn't. This is the hard way, and I wanted to do it the hard way. And I mean, it's easy after you've done it to say that. I probably wouldn't have said that had he lost. But he didn't. He won, and he gets to say that. And it is like, damn, you really did do that, because most of the other guys, that's not how championships are won.
Most of the championships in the last decade, have not been won that way.
Right. So that's cool beans on him.
That is cool beans. And I do have to ask now, Tanner. Before we had our guest on, you had mentioned something about road rage and then never took me anywhere.
Because I thought of the streaming thing, but Just that, like, it's funny. It's just so situational dependent how one day something that's should upset me, I'm like, who cares, whatever. It's just 5 minutes longer. But then on other times, it's like, it's just like when it rains, it pours with that stuff.
It's just like, it's like usually you're in a hurry. Or like, it's the big one is the hurry.
Yeah,
like
that's honestly what causes it all.
Especially
right?
around here. Because when you're in a hurry, there's like only so many roads that get you where you want to go.
Right.
And yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
The thing that grinds my gears here, which if you're from a place with actual traffic, you'd be like, what? You know, but like when you have to wait at a stoplight through more than one iteration of it.
Yeah.
And especially if you're like making a left turn and you can see people making bad choices of
like
you're
not getting out into the intersection.
Yeah.
And like
that's the thing. That's
the one
is one thing.
The one is
like
when you're not out in the intersection.
Yeah.
And it turns, it's like yellow or it does turn red and you lost your chance to go because you weren't out there. So now everyone has to wait again because
like,
you're not being
you
out
dick.
there.
You just, that one spot is important. If you're gone, then the next person's guaranteed to you're screwing up this whole thing by not going with like the guy making the left-hand turn, in my opinion, is no matter what, you're the last person to cross that intersection. You wait, no matter how many people want to cross in front of you going straight, you pull out into the center and you make that left-hand turn, even if the light's red, you know, like you just,
but that's how you're supposed to do it, right?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if legally you need to stay back there until you can actually go, but in my mind, that's the protocol.
Thought that was the
get out there, and no matter how many people want to cross in front of you, before once it's red or yellow,
at some point someone has to slow down for a yellow light,
and you're going to get to go,
or stop for a red, and then at that point you're in the middle of the road, you have to go,
and it gets one more person through that left-hand turn.
I agree. If that's not the rule, that should be the rule.
And so it was.
And solved that
from
one.
Thus force it was decided. Nobody doesn't make that fucking left-hand turn. Like, don't sit there when you could have been the last person to go.
And that is Midwest traffic.
We got a traffic update this week. We're staving off the weather update and just going
still don't have any roundabouts here yet.
Yeah. The best way, if we're going to do this weather traffic update consistently, we're going to need to take it up to 10,000 feet to get in the Massenomics chapter.
Yeah, so we can see what's going on with the jams and all the accidents.
There's 3 cars on the road today in western northeast South Dakota. And
the big one's when the train comes through, though, for us. That is the big one.
We are the hub city.
Don't get that nickname on accident.
No, you don't. You definitely don't.
Should we bring this one on home, Tanner?
Yeah, are we going to hear from the Strength Co.?
Spoiler alert. Jeez. Today's show is brought to you by The Strength Co. The Strength Co. operates starting strength affiliate gyms out of Southern California. They have a staff of experienced starting strength coaches that know the best way to develop strength through the barbell movements. Grant, the owner of The Strength Co., is a Marine, and he is passionate about obtaining quality American products and labor for all aspects of his business. He's also passionate about the smell of WD-40 in the morning, Tanner. Did you know that?
WD-40 in the... Oh, yeah. Yeah, and what did you watch his Seafoam?
Oh shit, Seafoam.
Okay, Seafoam. Yeah,
I can't get it right ever.
Yeah. I was like, was there? I bet Grant does like WD-40.
No, he sent a video just to me, Tanner. You must not have seen that.
I just got the Seafoam one.
Yeah.
Really good Seafoam little bit that they did though.
Now I know Grant's a Chevy guy too. He revealed in that video.
Okay, yeah. He had a bunch of, he had like a fleet of old Chevy pickups.
Yeah, were those like what is that, about a 95-ish? Was that the year on those ones?
Yeah, they were, I suppose so. They're pre-97. In 97, you could get it both ways. In 97, you could get both body styles.
Really?
Yeah, there was like, it was fun. It was like a funny year for Chevy. You could get
that's a very weird
that
year for
style,
any car,
and then like in kind of like the 98. Was actually like the second half of 97. You could get.
Oh, okay.
No, but it wasn't like they were called 97s. They were
both just as 97s.
Yeah, you could get 97 in both both body styles.
Interesting.
Someone can fact check that. Someone will know better, but I believe that's how it went.
Well, you drive a Chevy.
I do drive a Chevy
truck. I mean, I drive a Chevy myself, but we discussed I just don't drive very much, Tanner. So
right, and I used to have an 03 Chevy, which that actually wasn't the 9. I think that was one more generation beyond the 98 body style. Was the 03, and then now I have a 2009, in which there's like two new.
I do. It is interesting how much like the truck. I mean, trucks are just big business, right? Like,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
and people will just. But like, it is interesting how often when I say the big three, like Ram, Chevy, and Ford, how often they actually do update their truck body style.
Yeah.
And how other manufacturers, certain vehicles will just stick around forever. Like
Right.
the Grand Cherokee right now, I think is going on like 11 years. Like it hasn't changed in forever. But then you get like all these trucks. Do they change every 5 years?
Oh yeah, yes, I would say
Like
so.
the latest Ford one is super minor. I didn't even realize it was considered a redesign because it was so minor. But
Yeah. In other parts of the country, I don't know if the truck market certainly isn't as big as it is here, but like when you go to a vehicle lot in South Dakota,
cars don't exist.
No, and even like
Well, the F-150 is the best-selling vehicle in America. It is.
Okay, okay, yeah. I think a lot of other, like when you go, it's funny when you go to like the South, like Arizona, most of their pickups are 2-wheel drive. Like on a lot.
The fact
Which
that
that's
exists
funny.
is so weird.
Where it's like
It is.
that 2-wheel drive full size
all the
pickups are a
SUVs,
complete
just
rarity
all the
here.
SUVs we're used to seeing.
Yeah.
Like, everyone
Yes.
drives these big crossovers and SUVs.
Everything's
You just
four-wheel
assume they're
drive here.
all four-wheel or all-wheel drive.
drive,
Some,
yeah.
The fact that like when you see it online that it's available in 2-wheel drive, you're like,
You're like,
no one obviously gets that. But in other
But
parts
there
of
are
the
parts
country,
of the country where it's
yeah.
not an ice storm half of the year.
Yeah.
So the strength
Back to the second half of the Strength Co ad.
Seafoam.
The Strength Co makes premium made in America barbell equipment, including their machined and e-coated plates. These plates are functional, easy to handle, accurate, and made to last a lifetime. The Strength Co plates have become the go-to choice for all members at Massenomics Gym. Check out their plates and other made in America equipment online at thestrengthco.com. That's thestrengthco.com. I do just have to laugh though, because Grant kind of sent over that video because I totally fucked up the I love the smell of napalm in the morning because I was mixing up Good Morning Vietnam and I love the smell of I got that all mixed up, and then he sent over the I love the smell of seafoam in the morning, but I messed that up again. I love the smell of WD-40. That's what I'm thinking in my head. Grant's huffing WD-40 in the morning. I just, which a lot of people do like the smell of WD-40.
That's true. Seafoam, Minnesota-based company.
Is it really?
I think so.
Did not know that.
Also, another thing I'm not positive about, but I think might be true. So
it sounds about right. I don't know enough to disprove you, so I'll have to
nobody does. I don't think so.
No.
And nobody's going to bother looking it up. I don't think. So.
No one cares enough about seafoam to really get to the bottom of that.
Except maybe Grant probably.
Grant
does.
maybe does.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to this episode. You can make sure to subscribe to the Massenomics podcast if you're not already. Of course, you're already doing that. But make sure to like us on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube is what I'm thinking. We pumping more stuff out there so you can catch all the podcasts on YouTube if you want to. But otherwise, we talked about the gym tour video. We got some other stuff in the works. So make sure you come over to the YouTube site, get subscribed. You can ring the little bell and then you get notifications when there's a new video out. Do that if you'd like. But make sure to get subscribed on YouTube. And then tell a friend about the podcast. Leave us one of those 5-star reviews so we can read yours on air in one of the upcoming years when we get to it. Become a supporting member like we talked about. There could be cool things coming in that supporting membership thing. And then our new drop this week. We've got the new drop this week.
Get on it.
We've got the new teas, new other items.
And the other items.
Other items. So make sure to buy all of those items. Least
Every
they run
last
out.
one of them. If you go on and it says there's only 20 left in stock in your size, get all 20.
Just to be safe. The resale, I mean, you could own the resale market at that point in time.
You would have it cornered until we restock it. Then you would not have it cornered. But
you would still have like 20 teas.
There'd be a few weeks where you would have that market cornered.
Yeah. Tommy, where do they find you on Instagram?
You can find me at Tomahawk_D.
You can follow me at Tanner_Bear. Just make sure to follow Massenomics at Massenomics.
See ya.